What up, squad? So y'all, it's been a whole week now since I've gotten this Galaxy Z Flip 4, and I've been using this phone here, y'all, literally every day, as you all have seen it in all of my videos here that I've been dropping recently. And I think I finally have enough information to go ahead and let you guys know if I think this phone here is prime time ready for you guys to go ahead and spend your money on it. Because if we're gonna be honest here on this channel, y'all, and I'm always honest, these foldable phones here is not cheap. So we got a lot to talk about. Now, we're gonna go ahead and break this video down into two different parts. Now, we're gonna talk about the things that I like about this foldable phone, and then we're gonna talk about the thing that I don't like about the Z Flip 4. Now, the first thing that we gotta talk about when it comes to this phone here that's been a positive experience for me, y'all, and that is the whole design and form factor of this phone. Now, having a device, y'all, that I'm able to fold this phone just in half and just be able to slide easily into my pocket, not taking up that much space, y'all, has been crazy clutch, y'all, and it's something that I've been rocking with heavy when it comes to this phone right here. As well as a side note that I gotta mention, y'all, I've been using this phone. I know y'all gonna call me crazy in the comments, but I've been using this phone the entire time without a case because I simply just love the look of this phone, y'all, with this whole two-tone front that you can see right here. Also, you kind of have this frosted glass backing on it as well. And I do this, y'all, because I want to test the whole durability of being able to sit it down on a desk, picking it up, slide into my pocket, just kind of everyday stuff, right? And just kind of see how well does it hold up. And for me, y'all, using it for 1 week, I gotta say this phone, y'all, so far it's been pretty durable, y'all. I don't have any scratches on it or anything like that. Now, one thing we got to talk about when it comes to this phone here is, let's say you somebody and you coming from something like, I don't know, like a Galaxy S22 Ultra or an iPhone or just a traditional smartphone, is having to unfold it every time you guys want to use it. Now, I understand that this is the whole purpose of having this phone, right? And why you guys would even want to buy it. But when you guys are somebody who, you know, you're used to just kind of taking your phone out of your pocket, unlocking it, going into whatever app you want, and then it's just quick and readily accessible, right? But I gotta say, y'all, when you're using something like a Galaxy Z Flip 4, it does take some getting used to and changing your whole mindset to understand that you have to unfold this phone every single time you really want to use it. Now, to some people out there, this could actually get annoying, having to like unfold it every single time you want to use it versus using this whole front display. But to some people, this is the whole thrill of it, right? Unfolding it and, you know, folding it back and all these different things like that, right? Now, to me, is it a hassle? I don't really think it's a hassle or anything, but it is an extra step that I had to retrain my mind to get used to it. But I feel like a lot of people out there are just not talking about the whole psychology shift that it takes to use a phone like this and just kind of enjoy it right out of the gate, because there is definitely, y'all, a mind shift when it comes to using foldable smartphones, especially this phone right here over something like the Galaxy Z Fold 4, which we're gonna talk about that here in an upcoming video. Now, before we actually get into really opening this phone up and just kind of talking about all of that, let's talk about the front display here, because there's some things that I like about this front display, and then there's some things that I dislike about this front display. So my dislike with this display right off the bat is usability, y'all. I feel like it's so small that it's almost kind of pointless to have. Now, don't get me wrong, I think over the original Flip as well as all the way up to the previous gen, this screen right here is definitely a huge improvement for sure, and it's welcome. Now, out of all of the previous gens, this one here, I will say, as far as a front display, is the one that I like the most. No question about that at all. I just would like to see them expand this screen all the way up to the top and just kind of Samsung, just go ahead and open it up and just use this existing real estate that you guys have right here, because as you guys can see right here, I'm actually able to get on YouTube and I can watch content on it without having to actually open my phone up. And if you guys are wondering how I did this, I'll be showing this off in my 31 plus tips and tricks video that's going to be coming up here soon on the channel, so definitely be on the lookout for that and subscribe to the channel if you guys want to see that. But again, I think it's an improvement from what we had previously for sure. I just would like to see the next gen pretty much just have a larger display that's going to be a little bit more usable from an app perspective. And I think this also ties into easing people into not always having to unfold your phone in order to be able to use it. You get what I'm saying? Now, I do like the ability to be able to customize this whole front display and all of that, and changing the clock layout, putting your own photos up there, being able to add widgets and all of that. Because to me, y'all, I think that's absolute fire, y'all, because it does give you kind of that quick glance option that you need on this phone. It kind of reminds you of the Galaxy Watch and kind of how it works, making you guys familiar with using it within the ecosystem. Now, I also like how you can use this whole viewfinder here for taking photos, allowing me to take selfies using the rear facing cameras, which we all know are the better cameras on this phone. And we're gonna talk about the cameras here in a second, because Samsung, y'all, we we gotta fight about these cameras, y'all. But for me actually using it over a week now, I think the front display is cool, but I just would like to see Samsung expand more on it. Now, the last thing on this front display before we kind of open this phone up and talk about that I have to mention, it's simple, but it's with this whole flashlight thing. Now, if you guys were to swipe down from the top and you guys tap on flashlight here, it's gonna give you like a message. Well, in the beginning, it gives you a message telling you guys to be able to turn it away from your face, and then you go ahead and just press on the volume key, and it's just gonna go ahead and turn on the flashlight. I just think that's a really cool feature for it to tell you, hey, move it away from your face because this light is gonna blind you. Now let's go ahead and flip this phone open, y'all, so we can just kind of get into some of the good as well as the bad of this display. Now to me, y'all, this display is not bad, but if you guys are coming from something like a Galaxy S22 Ultra or even like the Note series, don't expect this display to have that same level of quality on it because it just simply doesn't. Now I'm sure the reason we're only able to get full HD for display resolution is most likely due to the limitation of foldable technology at this time, but for the price that we gotta pay, I gotta have that same S22 Ultra type of display, and that alone, y'all, makes it hard for me to just tell somebody to go out there, spend their money on this phone right here, because for the exact same price or a little cheaper, depending on if you guys can find a deal, the S22 Ultra, y'all, offers up way more for that same price. But we're gonna talk about that in an upcoming video here shortly. Now, don't get me wrong, y'all, does the screen on the Z Flip 4 look bad? No, I don't think it looks bad at all. I can just tell that it's not on par with other modern day smartphones in 2022, if that makes sense. And yes, I took that whole default screen protector that was on here off that Samsung gives us, and I compared it to that, and it still really wasn't that better. I would recommend, honestly, y'all, keeping that screen protector on until it actually decides to fall off on its own. Now, the other thing I don't like is I feel in direct sunlight when you're using this phone outside or something like that, I don't feel like it gets as bright as I would like it to. Now, I've even tried like turning on the whole extra brightness feature in this display setting, and I still had some issues with it when it came to watching content on it. Now, I'm not gonna say it's like a deal breaker or anything like that, because still the screen when you're indoors gets plenty bright. I just gotta say, I wish it was on par with something like the Galaxy S22 Ultra when it comes to screen brightness. Now, let's talk about split screen. Now, this is something, y'all, I'm in love with, y'all, when it comes to this phone, and I've actually used it way more than I thought I would, than I do on other devices. Now, being able to use it and watch content and reply back to you guys in the comments, y'all, is just so fire of a feature, y'all. And just being able to literally split this screen right here, right at the fold, y'all, it's just dope to me. Like, it's like getting a preview of if they were to go ahead and expand this whole front that I was telling you guys about a little early in this video, and just kind of what that would be like. Also, y'all, one thing we got to talk about is flex mode. To me, y'all, flex mode is lit. Like, it's like having a built-in kickstand while splitting your screen in half. Depending on the apps that you guys are using, you can go ahead and scroll through the comments while watching your own favorite creators, or you can also use it like a mouse pad to go ahead and navigate to, depending on the applications that you guys are using. But having that whole flexibility mode, y'all, to me is dope. And if you're using any other foldable device and if it don't have flex mode, hey, it ain't a foldable phone to me. Now let's go ahead and talk about the cameras, y'all. To me, this is where I feel like things kind of fall apart, and I'm kind of 50-50 on it, and I almost got a bone to pick with Samsung about it, y'all. So y'all already know when it comes to the Galaxy S22 Ultra, right? Like, the rear facing cameras are good, right? So why didn't Samsung go ahead, literally, y'all, and just take the same cameras off of this phone and put it on this phone right here? To me, y'all, it just don't make any sense at all. Now, are the rear facing cameras on this phone here bad? I wouldn't necessarily say that they're bad, but you can clearly tell they're not on par with what Samsung could have gave us, right? And the front-facing cameras on this phone, y'all, to me, going on, y'all, so just wanted to do a quick video sample test here as well as an audio sample test here on the Galaxy Z Flip 4 Z. Look, I'm getting the numbers wrong. Galaxy Z Flip 4. Let me know down in the comment section below, man, what y'all think of everything: video quality, audio quality, stabilization, all of that. Let me know down in the comment section below. Let's go. I just feel like with this phone here, in my honest opinion, that the cameras were somewhat of like an afterthought, and I feel like Samsung made sure that the hinges were right, the foldable hardware and software and features are working right. To me, those were the main priority, and trust me, y'all, I get that. But if Samsung is pricing these phones where they're pricing it, I want the same level of cameras that's you know, that they put in the sauce on this phone to be on this flagship as well. Now I will say, I do like the fact that I can hold this phone like this, you know, kind of old school, like camcorder-ish style, to be able to capture footage and different things like that. To me, I thought that feature was actually dope. Now, one feature and one kudos I gotta give them when it comes to the camera on this phone, y'all, is the auto framing feature. This is a feature I would love to see other manufacturing phones get as well, as it's perfect for today's time where literally everybody is creating content for online. So I would say this, don't buy this phone here if smartphone photography or videography is important to you. Take more of a look at the Galaxy S22 Ultra for something like that instead, because you're spending almost the same amount of money and you're gonna get a whole lot more features out of this phone than what you can get out of this one. Also, we gotta talk about the fingerprint sensor on the side. To me, y'all, I felt like this is good. It's quick and snappy. Facial recognition works as well, but I will say, if I'm in like dark rooms, it's not always the best at finding my face to unlock it, which is why I mainly go ahead and just resort to using the side button here. I just feel like it's way quicker and just way more accurate. All right, so let's go ahead and talk real quick about how amazing these speakers are on this phone. Like, to me, y'all, they get really loud. Like, I'm talking really loud. Just check it out. For you guys to actually have Google Assistant up here to show up, you must, like, it's plenty loud. And another thing I like is the fact that with this phone, you do get Dolby Atmos for video content as well as gaming as well. So all of y'all Warzone players out there, you definitely want to turn that feature on this smartphone. Now, one thing I will say I would like them to do is, I know we had the speakers here that are here on the bottom. I just would like to see them add maybe like a speaker right here up top, so that way if we ever was to watch something in like a landscape mode like this, I'm actually getting like a stereo sound from this side and as well as the left side as well, which is something that they gave us here on the Galaxy Z Fold 4, which we're gonna talk about that in an upcoming video. But overall, y'all, I think this is a solid phone and definitely the best Galaxy Z Flip that they've came out with so far. And no lie, y'all, it's got me side-eyeing my iPhone, you know, just a little bit, y'all. Like, it's good, y'all, to see that they are continuously improving this phone just year over year, which is keeping me hopeful for some of the changes that I'm personally asking for and would like to see. Now, I think that you guys should only buy this phone here if you are three kinds of people. Number one, if you guys are just like a person that likes having the latest and greatest and just looking for a change in smartphone technology, then I think that this phone will definitely wow you, as it is different for sure. Number two, you don't use your smartphone camera that much, but you still want to change a pace from the traditional smartphone and you just kind of curious on trying something new, right? Then I think this phone is for you. And number three, you would just prefer to have something more portable to be able to easily carry around with you, you know, versus having something like a bigger phone like this, like the S22 Ultra or something like that. See, to me, y'all, I feel like I line up with the third person because I like having, you know, a smaller form factor to easily be able to slide in and out of my pocket, and having to unfold it after getting used to it is actually a fun thing to do. Now, I'm curious over time with me folding it and unfolding it, how well it's actually going to last. Well, I guess you guys are just gonna have to subscribe to the channel and just turn on all the notifications for all of those videos, so that way you guys won't miss when I drop that video. But again, man, as always, make your move and always remember your why, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Squad. It's phone, y'all.